Latina Leadership Podcast, the podcast made for Latinas by Latinas. Get comfortable, amiga, and enjoy the conversations.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Latina Leadership Podcast. And on this episode, we're going to start a new series on the podcast. This is going to be a very, I don't even know what to describe it. I think it's going to be like a very one-on-one, two-on-one, three-on-three. It's going to be a conversation where we're going to have, not personal, like too personal, I think, but I believe it's going to be very much just intimate conversations. There's the word. There's the word I was trying to look for. So, with that being said, this series is called Las Patronas. And I am one of three hosts. So my name is Anjelica, for those who don't know me here on the Latina Leadership Podcast. I'm also part of the other Latina Leadership Podcast, a co-host on there too. And then here to my left, we have
Sofia Reyes.
Sofia Reyes is born and raised in San Antonio, Texas, has become a very good friend of mine here in Northwest Arkansas, where she came to live when she was a mighty, mighty little girl of all of, 18, 19?
Yes, 18.
18 years old here in Northwest Arkansas. And then also on this podcast, we're also going to be having Marianne Garcia. Pero right now we're in Northwest Arkansas. Marianne's in Houston. Let's see if she can fly in at some point to start recording with us, or we fly there. We fly there. Sofia flies there. I drive there. She's going to fly. I'm excited about this recording because I feel like I divide myself entre Houston and here. And I have some of the best conversations with you two ladies. I do have other amazing friends, but I think I spend the most time with you two guys. So with that being said, I know when I first told you we were going to do this, you told me that you had some topics that you thought would be interesting. Do you remember? No?
Yes, well, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yesterday.
You know what, Sofia? But before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? And it doesn't have to be much. We're going to get to know you throughout the series.
Yeah, a little bit about me. Well, born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. Mis padres son mexicanos. Soy orgullosamente mexicana.
Uh-huh.
Pero me fascina que I'm Tex-Mex.
Uh-huh.
So I can do this Spanish-English.
Uh-huh.
And I've been in Arkansas since 1989.
Why do you say it under your breath?
It's been a long, long time. I don't even realize how long it's been, but it's been a long time. It was a place where I saw that you could grow.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of Hispanic and much less a bilingual Hispanic like myself.
Uh-huh.
So I was very useful within the community.
Uh-huh.
Because it was either all Spanish or all English. So I became very useful in the bilingual. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I really never thought much of it. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. Everybody speaks like me.
Everybody's bilingual.
Exactly. So I was nothing special when I came here. Whoa, I'm an extraordinaire. So
you were a unicorn.
Yes, exactly. So I was able to go to hospitals and doctors and help people with, at the unemployment office. I was able to help my community. Yeah. And it was amazing. Then I just turns out that one of the huge retail companies are here, Walmart. And I just started from the bottom there. I didn't think much of it. Yeah. And it turned into a career, and I'm still working, on the other side. Now I work for a supplier and still using my bilingual skills. Yeah. 30 years later, and I'm still using it because it's much needed. The Hispanic community has grown here, but yet there's still a lot of people that don't speak it. And now with a nonprofit organization that I'm part of, I'm also using my bilingual skills. So it's amazing how important it is to have two languages. And it just made me feel there was a reason why I was put here. No reason. You know what I mean? I mean, I used to tell people, where do you live? Arkansas. Arkansas.
When I tell people I live here, Arkansas? Like, that's so
You mean Kansas?
Weird. Yeah. That's so, it's strange. So, Sofia, entonces, why? Okay, so let's start here then. How did you end up here? How did you end up here? A girl from San Antonio, Texas. how did you end up here? And I love the story.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Your cousin showed up one day from Mexico. She was like, vamos a la chingada. And you're like, vámonos.
Yes, it was funny. I have a cousin that she's still around and very close to me. Somos primas hermanas y nos queremos mucho como hermanas. Pero una vez me habló y me dijo, estoy en Arkansas y no hay nada no hay nada. Necesito que te vengas, estoy sola, me siento... ¿Qué vamos a hacer con la familia? Vamos a apoyar a nuestra familia, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Está bien, ahorita me voy para allá, nomás agarro avión. First time I ever got on a plane I was 18, 19 years old. And... y ahí vamos en el avión y que, hey, espérate, hay puras vacas. Where are we landing? Where's the landing? Espérame. So, and in those little avioncitas.
Yeah.
They only fit like 10 people. Yes, we were in the middle of nowhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So I landed here, and sure enough, I stayed here. I didn't realize I was here for just the summer. I was going to go back. And next thing I know, just like I said, people started needing my services. I felt needed.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. I went to work at a chicken plant because that's what the thing was to do as an Hispanic. And didn't venture out. It took me about 8 months to finally say, I want to do something different. Well, it doesn't help that they fire you because you don't show up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, 5 o'clock in the morning? I'm done here.
I'm ready to do something else. By the way, I got fired.
Which was the best thing. You know how some doors close and other open? Man, that opened my eyes to a lot of things. I got a job as an assistant at a company doing data entry. And then I went from there to the bank because they needed a bilingual person because it started to grow. And they needed someone to help speak to the Spanish community. And then from there, I jumped to Walmart because they were going into Mexico. They weren't even in Mexico yet. They're going into Mexico and they needed bilingual. And then just my Spanish has helped me to grow into my career, into a professional that that I am now. So it's been an amazing journey. But yeah, my cousin got me out here. We help familias, hacemos mexicanas, y nos vamos a ayudarnos a las otras.
Who's to say what would have happened to you in San Antonio staying there? Now that you go back.
I don't know, yo soy del barrio. Me fascina. I'm very proud de mi barrio. Yo soy del barrio. Pero también I've seen that a lot of people, when I go back, they've never left that area and they've never grown mentally, or expanded their horizon.
Because a lot of them survive.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. Mode. It's really hard to get out of that. That mentality. And I tell people a lot of the times, I'm lucky. I'm really fucking lucky that I had people who had seen something maybe in me and were like, hey, or I took hold of things and I just I held on to as long as possible and never let go until I was shaken off, all right, you've taken enough of this. But I tell people all the time, I'm lucky because of that. And a lot of the times, a lot of your life is dependent on luck. It's dependent on who's seen what opportunity in you and who reached out their hand to help you.
I love what you said. People saw something in you. People saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And the good thing is that I took advantage of that opportunity. And I would, okay, you want me to do this? Okay, I'll do it. And then I grew into something else and grew into something else. But you're right. The whole time, I'm not seeing what I'm doing and becoming and learning because I'm thinking I'm in survival mode because that's how you're raised, right?
Yeah, that's the way it is.
So you're sort of kind of in a survival mode. Next thing you know, it turns into a career. And the whole time, I'm like, there's people carrying you saying, we see something in you, you can do this, even though you don't believe in yourself. And you're right. It's like the universe put you in the spot so that you can grow because it put you with the right people.
Now, that's not to say that you didn't do your part either, because I did as much as I thought I could. And then for me, this is only for me. Somebody was like, I think you can do more. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah. They're like, no, just try it. What's the worst that can happen? You're going to not do it because you're already not doing it. I'm like, oh, no, you're right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm already not doing it. So what's the worst that can happen? Not do it?
Exactly.
Yeah, no. It's the same thing. So, but I think it's the fear of looking stupid that I fear a lot.
That's it.
The fear of looking stupid that it's not going to work out. But I never want to say that. So sometimes I think I I do things a lot of behind the scenes to not be able to like be seen so like that when people don't see the failure, only I feel it, and then I can go in my like little hole and stay there. Pero, with that being said, I think we had this very much connection that we were both Tejanas, and there is a very much understanding of like what it is to be a child of an immigrant.
Correct.
Through both of us.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of pride in where we come from.
Correct.
And there's a lot of pride of like being born here, and it's confusing to some people to like hear that. To hear that we are very prideful where our parents come from, and we take a lot of pride that they came here because we're very proud that we were born here.
Yes.
So, and I think sometimes, and especially here, that first there's not a lot of like 3, 4th generations the way there are in San Antonio or in Houston. You know, I have friends whose family have been there forever, and they're the ones who ran for city council, district, and all that stuff, and they remain there. A lot of the Chicanos there would tell me the stories of how important we are to the community and how important we are to the city, how important we are to like the resources, the money that we bring in, all of that stuff. I was told that constantly as a child, even as a daughter of an immigrant child. The Chicanos or the older people in my neighborhood made sure that I knew where I come from, that why I'm important because I come from the hood the way I do. With that being said, like I don't feel like that. I don't know if it's ancestral or it's the longevity that there isn't here. I think there's that thing. I think it's happening now, but it's not there, right? Somos bien orgullosas.
Yes. You know, I like what you said, that proud of who we are. I think that's something we have, the Latinos. We continue to carry our traditions and our culture and give it to our children. And I'll be honest with you, in this particular area, it was hard. Yeah. It was hard for them, even harder, because there was such a transition, such a separation. You know, you either
like a disconnect.
A disconnect. Whether you were either you were this or you were that, and you were 100% that, and nothing in between. You go to Tejano, Tejas, tú eres Tejano, tú eres Mexicano, and
Chicana, you're everything.
Like, here, you're Mexican. You're Mexican is todo, and they don't understand that there's a transition there. That no. I was born in Arkansas, but I still carry my culture with me. It doesn't make me 100% like Mexicano, and the other races can't understand that. They just see you as one thing, and that's it.
Yeah. It's the hardest thing to describe.
It's the hardest thing to describe. The whole time that I was here, I felt that I didn't belong, to be honest with you, because I was with my gente, y me miraban como, tú eres mexicana, tú eres americana,
tú eres de allá,
tú eres americana, tú que sabes, tú que entiendes. And estaba con la gente americana, and they were like, they just saw Mexican, that's all they saw. They didn't see anything in between. So there was no such thing as Chicana. It was tough. It was very hard. And every time I went to San Antonio, I feel at home. Puedo hablar los dos idiomas. Gente, sí. But here it was very separation. Now the children that are starting to grow here, they're starting to, now they're building that Chicano community.
They're building that ancestral that we feel within, that we feel like we bring, that we felt our parents brought from Mexico. Exactly. I feel like I carry it on.
Yes.
So that was a lot of you, a lot of talking about who you are, where you come from. Okay, so we did want to talk about a few conversations, and I think one of them was right that we talk about. You're like, what are the conversations you're talking about? Flying.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because I don't fly.
Okay, I need to ask.
Okay.
What percentage of people in the United States do not fly?
Or haven't flown?
Ever in their life. Like that.
I want to say it's big.
Oh, come on.
No, honestly and truly, now that you are like, you get flown to like Mexico and all sorts of places through your company. Yeah, through your company. And you on your own fly all over the damn place. Pero you're there now. Think about it. Like, and truly, honestly, think about it. The part of the nonprofit that you're with, how many of those Latinas do you feel like haven't flown that you've interacted with?
I feel like they are flown, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they don't fly often.
Or, no, I believe here in Arkansas, you're probably going to meet everybody who's flown in.
Most of them don't have an ID.
Oh, you're right. Fly. You're right. You're
okay.
Right. Yeah,
so
right.
that's totally different. Yeah. I want to know women like you. What percentage kind of women like you?
Yeah, I don't know. I told you now that I feel like I should be, and it's probably the easiest thing to get where I need to go. I could probably do a lot more if I fly. If I were to get on an airplane and fly, I would be all over the goddamn place. My niece told me. She told me, she was, Anjelica, it's probably a good thing you're not flying because you'll never be home. I was like, you're probably right.
You know what? Yep, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I never thought about it that way. But yeah, you're right. You're probably...
Yeah, so for those who don't know, who's listening, I don't fly. And it's all because... It's Sofia makes fun of it. She's like, we're going to get you on. We're going to get you like a couple of Xanax. We're going to, and I'm not even saying that as funny because my not even my therapist, my psychiatrist, the person that prescribes me my medication, told me, why aren't you flying? I'm like, yeah, I don't know, because I am like, he's like, no. He's like, I'll give you stuff. Please get on the airplane. Please get on. And I'm like, okay, I will. I promise you. I will. I've been having dreams about getting on airplanes. I've been having, I remember I used to dream about like anxiety, like even driving to the fucking airport would give me anxiety. I don't know how I thought I would accidentally end up on an airplane just driving to the airport. No, in all realness, in all trueness, I don't even want to step into the airport. I don't want to like accidentally be put on an airplane because the thought of it just gives me anxiety. And it's and I told you this before, and I used to hear this before, it's like a tin can in the air. It's not that it's like the flying. Yes. Yeah, like I'm afraid of heights and things like that. Yeah, like I do get like dizzy when I like get up too high. But I understand still that it's just the level of what I'm at and whatever, right? It's not the anxiety of height, it's the anxiety of being confined to your chair.
Hey, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Anxiety is a real thing, and it's it does stop people from
and you can't like get out, right? So like if you're on a bus, if you're on a car, even on the freaking what do you call it? Even on the train, like you still have the opportunity. The train can still stop, and when it stops, at complete stop, it's still like you can get off and get away. It's just I'm so afraid of having a panic attack up in the air. I'm so afraid of what can happen to me. And I told you, right? I said, look, Marianne had a really good idea. She said, we'll drive to Mexico, and then in Mexico, you can fly wherever you want. It's cheap, they're quick, they're fast, and da-da-da-da. And I was like, you're right. You know what, Marianne? Yes. Because if I get thrown off an airplane, I want it to be in Mexico, so like that they can put me on the no-fly list in Mexico, not here, so I can try it again. I'm so afraid. I'm just going to tell you these stupid thoughts that I have, okay, Sofia?
Yeah, I can't wait to hear this.
Oh, my God, okay. My thought is that I'm going to get such a bad panic attack that I'm going to get up and I'm going to try to fucking open the door or something. And I swear to God I will. And then I'm going to be one of those that they're going to tape to the seat. And they're going to put me on the no-fly list. Have you seen those videos? I swear to God, I feel like that's what's going to happen to me. So I keep thinking about it. I'm like, how can I fly? How can I fly? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get everybody to buy a fucking plane ticket, the same fucking plane that I'm on, so they could just grab me and sit on my ass. Just in case. And of course, Juan is always trying to encourage me. He's like, Anjelica, we'll fly first class. He's like, I just want to get you on the plane. I was like, aren't they expensive? He's like, yeah, they are. But I think it's more expensive when you don't fucking fly.
Yes, true.
And I'm like, fuck. So I think it's coming to fruition. Like I said, I used to wake up in sweat and panic when I would dream of trying to get on an airplane. I would have like severe, just hostile panic attacks that would just embody me. And I couldn't function. So the fact that I'm having dreams about getting on an airplane, I think I'm getting closer.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
I think I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I offered Sofia to get on the airplane with me. She said, hell no, I'm not going with you.
Let me know when you make it, when you get there.
I'll fly before or after you.
Yes.
So, with that being said, that was one of the topics that we did want to cover. But outside of that, what you had other topics that you wanted, and I don't have an agenda because honestly, I just wanted to get the audience to hear you, to get to know you.
Well, I did have some other ideas.
Okay.
Not sure if you're interested, but I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, this one's a really good one, actually. Let's talk about that one.
See, I do have some good ideas.
I like that one.
Yeah.
The mothers. Empty nesters.
Yes,
because we're both empty nesters.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a different world.
You've been an empty nester now for a little bit more longer than I have.
Yes, I have. My baby is 25 years old. So how long?
Yeah, me tienes como con 5 años. How? Yeah.
Saying he's just making sure that I'm older.
No. Your empty nester son is older. Yeah. So no. I have
a 33-year-old and I have a 25-year-old.
I have friends who were having kids at 14, 13. So I have friends who who in their late 20s.
Wow.
My age.
Wow. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm telling you.
I knew someone that had a child at 14.
Yeah.
We were 14. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, so and again, it's from the neighborhood we come from. It's a way of life.
I got in trouble. My dad came out screaming at me.
Because she got pregnant?
What did I do?
No la cuidaste.
I didn't even talk to her. We weren't friends. She was my neighbor, but we weren't friends. She was totally different, you know.
Uh-huh.
I think she was even like 2 years younger than me so maybe I was in high school. She was my neighbor, so she was maybe in 8th grade or something, and I was already in high school. But my dad, he came out screaming at me. So man, what did I do? I don't even hang out with her.
Yeah, because you should know better.
But you know what? It was her parents were real young. I remember thinking her parents were real young.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it was just a generation thing.
I have a friend who were in their late 30s was a grandmother.
Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness. And they asked me, when are you having a child? And I'm going,
the fuck?
Yeah. Why would I want to have one?
But because you come from a family whose faith was very much instilled in you, and so it was a big no for you guys.
Well, not only that, you know what? Let me tell you something about my parents. My parents were 40 when they got married. So they're older generation. So I grew up in a household just of older parents, much more peaceful and calm, and so there was not that craziness going around, and I think that helped. I honestly helped. Plus, they were religious, so I think that helped too as well. They were very careful where we were at. They were constantly checking on us. They were, who were your friends, and I had good parents, and my dad was no fuss. You had to respect him and respect my mom, and there was no. We don't even have tattoos in our bodies, me or my brother, because it was just not a thing. I think we did it out of respect.
No. No. Same.
Yeah.
Same. Me and my sisters and my brother, we don't have tattoos now. My sister Erica did.
I'm not judging or anything. I'm just saying that it's just something that parents.
No, but us, because that was a respect thing.
Exactly.
It was always being told to us. Mm-hmm. No, hombre, my mom. I used to smoke. I was a smoker up until in my late 20s. Mm-hmm. And even then, when I was in my late 20s, my mom would see me with my cigarette. She'd slap me. Oh, wow. She'd still fucking hit me.
That was just old school, I think it's missing a lot right now, but yeah.
Is it getting hot in here? Or soy yo?
It's getting hot.
¿Verdad?
Yeah.
It gets hot in here.
Real hot.
Okay.
Can we get naked?
No. How is it for you as an empty nester of children who are older? And now, my son doesn't look for me the way I would like to be looked for. He still needs me to run errands. Yesterday, me habló because he needed me to go so he takes summer classes at the community college so he can
hurry up through
not hurry up, so he can have an easier semester. Okay, so he doesn't take 5-6 classes a semester, right? So he takes it during the summer. But he's going to take one like now. And he's like, hey, I can't sign up. And can you just go over there and ask questions and whatever? He hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. Hey, Mom, how's it going? How are you feeling? How are you doing? Nothing. We usually do, right? Mm-hmm. I know he's back at school. He does have a girlfriend and all of this stuff. And his time is being occupied in other places, not only with like his friends, also his girlfriend, school, and things like that, right? But I still run errands for him. There isn't a lot. And then so when I heard you say that, yeah, my son asked me for my opinion because some things happened at work and, and I'm like, I don't get those phone calls.
They will come.
They will come. That's what you're telling me. You're trying to reassure me that they're going to come. They're going to come. He's going to come around. He's going to like figure it out that, oh, you know what? My parents do know more.
Exactly. I think in their 20s, they're trying to figure it out and who they are and trying to pretend that they have it like under control, but then they need mom or dad to go do something for them.
Yeah.
But when they turn late 20s, 30s, they start to realize like, oh, maybe mom and dad do know something. Uh-huh. But hey, listen, I was in the same shoes as you. I didn't hear from my son moved all the way to Florida. He just wanted to get away from me. I'm like, what did I do? I was heartbroken. I was like, what did I do? So he moved to Florida, and sure enough, I didn't hear from him, and I would just pray for him, and I would just hope that he was okay. I wouldn't hear from him, and I would call him, and ¿qué pasó, man? No, I'm fine, Mom. But you know what? It was a good thing. It's what he needed. Listen, I moved away from I moved to Arkansas when I was 18.
You're right.
And I didn't think much of my parents till I became a parent. I'm like, what? My mom used to do this with me? Crying every 2 years, every 2 hours. But yeah, so it happens. Empty nester, it could be hard for a lot of people that are very close to their children. It could be very hard because you start to realize, who are you? Uh-huh. Who are you without your kids? Uh-huh. Right?
Yeah.
And you have to remember who you were before kids. You were a person with your own dreams, with your own thoughts, with your own wanting to do things. And all of a sudden, you're back again at that place where you didn't have to think about it anymore. Yeah. Because somebody needed you constantly. Yeah. Well, that person doesn't need you anymore.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I do inundate myself a lot with what he needs. What are his dreams? What are his wants? He needs to go for it. He needs to this and he needs to that. And I constantly want to tell him how to like perceive, how to overcome, how to, I don't know, all the hard lessons that I learned. But it's not the same hard lessons, and I'm not in his shoes, and I don't know what he's dealing with.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what life is for him, and it's presumptuous of me to think that he just needs me all the time.
What I've learned as an empty nester, this is what I've learned. When you have your kids, you tell them what to do because you know best for them, right? Mm-hmm. But when they're out in the world, you realize they're trying to figure it out, and they'll call you when they need you and their advice. But it's hard as an empty nester to come to terms you're no longer needed in the same way. Uh-huh. And so my thing, and the most important thing that I've learned, the word mother means so many things. Mm-hmm. Your child needs you for different things at different stages of their lives. They will always need you. Mm-hmm. Whether they turn 40 years old, they'll need you for different ways and advice. Mm-hmm. They just tell me that everything's going to be okay. Don't say anything, just tell me everything's going to be okay. And I think us women, más las Latinas, we get stuck in that mother, they need me kind of, they get stuck.
They need to be mothered.
Yes.
That motherly place, yeah.
And the beautiful thing, if you learn and grow also as a mother, you realize everything has stages and you're needed in different things, in different ways. And not only as a mother, but as a wife, as a sister, as a friend. They're just different stages at different time. Just when you were 5 years old, you're not thinking the same way you were when you were 5 or when you were 10, 15 or 25 or 30 or now that I'm 54. I'm not thinking the same way that I was thinking when I was 25. Mm-hmm. So we're constantly growing and evolving. And I wish that more Latinas, I'm hoping, and I think it is, understand that our papel como madres va cambiando también como nosotros vamos cambiando.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. And also, I think that we want to control as mothers because we know best for our kids, But it's like getting in that airplane.
Yeah.
You have to lose control and trust and believe that everything those pilots were taught, they're going to do. And everything you taught your child to do, he's going to do. And trust. It's all about trusting.
Yeah. I do feel sometimes. Yeah, you did. You looped it right back around to get on the fucking airplane, Anjelica. But I do see, like, what you're saying. It's hard for me because I have this. I want to protect him from the harsh reality that comes.
Yeah.
I don't think I did him any service by trying to protect him all the time.
I can tell you I did. I tried to protect. I was a single mom of 2 kids, and I tried to protect them all the time. And I'm going to be honest with you. My oldest told me one time, he turned around, looked at me, and he was so dead serious. He goes, "Why didn't you tell me the world was ugly?" I was like, wow. And I realized I overprotected him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I want...
It's tough. Listen, it's tough to be a parent.
I want him to grow. I want him to be himself, and I don't want to stop him from doing what he's going to do.
Yeah.
But I still want to know. And I'm like, he's not going to tell you everything.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. You're not going to find it. I can't invade his privacy. I don't look at his phone. I don't know where, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't talked to all his friends. I don't know who their mothers are. He is who he is, and I think I want to be okay with that.
Well, this is where everything that I did from the day he was born till he was an adult, that's where he takes over. Everything that you taught him and that you were supposed to teach him, it's done. It's done. Now, as a mother, you stand back and you let them lead their lives because you know that they're doing it with their moms and parents' voice in the back of it.
But aren't you curious though? Sometimes like you're trying not to judge your own son or your own kid, and then you're like,
one time, I mean, los quiero agarrar y darle sus nalgadas right there, and I'm like, oh, you're 25 and you're so grown. So I los quiero agarrar and shake them. But I have to believe that everything I taught them, and it's the example that I was, that somehow it's instilled in them.
It's going to be part of who they are.
Yes.
Now you as a daughter, you see your mom and you think to yourself, how do you think that's going to transition as you get older and they get older?
Yeah. Gracias a Dios, tengo mamá, tiene 95 años. She's 95 years old, and we help take care of her. But it's me and my sister, right? My mom has 2 daughters. I have 2 boys. Unless they get married to good women, I'm out of luck. I gotta trust on my good friends.
I told you, right, that I wanted to resurrect old folks home, because eventually that's where I'm going to end up, and my friends will probably end up.
I think that's the way to go. We need to really look into that. I don't know what it looks like. I want to be independent from my children. I don't want to worry about them like I used to. You do automatically, but I don't want them to be my main focus. Yeah. Right now I'm in this journey of who is Sofia? Who was she before she got married, before she had kids, before she got her heart broken? Who was that innocent girl? That's the essence of me that I'm looking for. You know, we all have trouble, and we our children matter a lot, but I am an empty nester, and this is a stage of our lives that we have to grasp and enjoy it, because now we're doing it with maturity, not when you're young and dumb and you still don't know what the heck's going on. Now you're doing it with this maturity and experience, and I'm enjoying my empty nester. I love to be alone en la casa y encuerarme, caminar y no preocuparme, agarrar la botella de mi favorite red wine, and not feel judged or I gotta act a certain way or I have to speak a certain way because I'm still teaching my children. Yeah, I'm done with that part. Who is Sofia? So that's when people say I'm an empty nester, I get all excited, like, oh, so now you're back to finding who you are with. Who are you without the label of mother, of wife,
the constant?
Yes. And listen, to me, it's at first I was like just sitting there going, oh my God, now what? Mi perro que me ladre, now what? And, it's blossomed and developed to a beautiful thing. And I'm starting to enjoy at first I was scared. I was scared for my children. I was scared what's going to happen. But now I'm actually embracing it. Like you said, I'm like 5 years, my kids are older than your kids. So
you have the experience, yeah.
I hope, and I notice, and I'm going to be honest with you, en nuestra cultura, la mamá, después de ser mamá y sus hijos crecen, se hacen las abuelitas y las abuelitas siguen cuidando a los hijos. And they never change that how do you call it, the papel,
the roles. The role of caring, of mother caring,
changes. Your role as a child changed because you grew. Your role as an adolescente. Your role as an young adult, your role as a mother, your role as a wife. It is a constant change. Life is such a beautiful thing because it's a constant change. And so we cannot feel about our children how we felt with them when they were 10 years old and they were going to go hang out with their friends. We're like, what friends? Where are you? How are you? What time? We can't do that to a 18-year-old anymore or to a 25-year-old anymore. We have to trust that everything that we did when we were in the role of mothers is going to, fruition in them.
I have hope that that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's hard to let go. Can you tell I'm struggling with that? It's hard to let go because
real quick, I had to say something.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It was so hard for me to let go when my son was going to turn 18. He was an 18 year. I had to go see a counselor about it.
Yeah.
I had to go see a counselor about it. How to let go and how to treat an adult. I said, he's going to turn 18 in March and I don't know. Everything just changed. All of a sudden, I couldn't call the doctors anymore. Well, your son has to call in.
Yeah.
What do you mean, my son? Who pays the bill?
Who do you think pays the doctor's note, the doctor's bill, and all this other shit?
That was a huge transition, and I think a lot of mothers go through that. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Go see a counselor because I had to go see a counselor. Oh my God, I tell you.
You go talk to somebody because you need to figure it out. I will. Eventually I will. But it's hard. It's hard. I feel like I sometimes I have a really good son. I think he's a really good kid, but he has his modos. He has his ways. He has his things, and I'm like, damn it, like. I just keep thinking it's going to snap out of it. He's just going to turn around and know exactly what to do. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm assuming he knows what he's going to eventually know what to do.
I think it's a beautiful way of telling you is that expect the unexpected.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't help me.
Girl, trust me, it's going to be okay.
Te chingaste, Lo que es va a ser. Letting go of control.
Yes, letting go. And like you said, you have a great son and he's a good kid. With that, let it go.
Like his mind and thoughts and because we have good kids. Their intentions are good. The execution.
And their boys.
Mama's eagle. Yeah, she has 2 boys. I have 1. So, but yes. You know what? That's so funny because entre las tres, Marianne has 3 kids and she only has 1 daughter. She has 2 boys and 1 daughter.
Yeah, it's you gotta also give them credit. Like, oh yeah, they're boys. They're gonna take a little longer.
I think we're making excuses. They'll lean into it. They'll lean into who they are. They're good kids. They really are. Pero with that being said. Sofia, I think this was a really good start to the podcast. I think this is going to be short and sweet because I do want to record again with you. And then, like I said, we'll record with Marianne. You want you two to record together too eventually without me on here.
I can't wait. I'm excited about that.
So am I. So I think this one was short and sweet. I think the introduction into Las Patronas, into the Latina Leadership Podcast, and this little series of ours, Las Patronas, it's going to be just us 3, just a little bit different conversations. Like I said, I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. And
stay tuned. We're going to get her on a plane.
We're going to record it.
Yes.
And it's going to cut when Anjelica, where you see her eyes wide open, like, they'll be like, ah, shit.
We're losing her.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to have more amazing conversations coming in your direction. So with that being said, thank you so much for sitting through this first Las Patronas series on the Latina Leadership Podcast. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Gracias.
What did you think of the conversation? If you enjoyed what you heard, let us know in the comments. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for listening to the Latina Leadership Podcast, and we will see you next time.